The first is certainly not a real life kind of thing, but certainly based on the life of Adam Goldberg. He calls it very similar to his family, set in the 80s, called The Goldbergs. A kind of typical Jewish American family, mum and dad, 3 kids, the youngest of which played by, is supposed to be Adam Goldberg, and he's documenting his life. He's got a video camera, and he goes around filming the various aspects of his life. What were your feelings on this, first of all, Matt?
I really liked it, actually. It was a bit sort of shouty to begin with, but I think it's settled. I mean, I've watched all 3 that have aired so far. It's all on, like, all for one or whatever it's called now.
The Musketeer channel.
For all time.
It reminded me, I think it's got a sort of a hint of, like, Malcolm in the Middle in there, a bit of, I mean, as well, because of it being set all in the 80s and stuff like that, like the late 80s, it's got a bit of Moon Boy in there as well for me, you know, based on his family. It's based on his experiences growing up. The sort of character that people will sort of latch onto is the middle child, Barry. I thought he was the sort of... I don't know if either of you have seen the second episode where they're at the skate rink and he's like, you know, skating it off and stuff like that. There are some problems with it. Certainly the stories involving the mum were very sort of samey. You know, she's, you know, worried that she's losing touch. Yeah, but I think it's starting to find its feet, and I like George Segal as well. I think he's great as the granddad. Definitely a very easy watch as well. You know, they're only like 20 minutes each, and I think it's quite hard to do like a self-contained story or 2 self-contained stories in every episode in a 20-minute time limit. And I think this pulls it off. And more than anything else, it's got sort of charm and you sort of believe the characters.
Yeah. Personally, I wish they'd played off the fact that he was filming the people more often.
Yeah,
I wish they'd played off of that. It has got that charm to it, and I like the nostalgia, the 80s. I like that.
Have you seen the 3rd episode, either of you?
Yeah, I've seen the 3 that
with the poltergeist thing, and the granddad thinks he's going to see the Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah. Where the hell was the mouse? I tell you what, actually, we were talking about it before. I was like, I'm not so sure, but I think it grew on me with every episode.
And judging from what it's, you know, what I've read, sort of the articles in the States, it sort of it finds its feet sort of midway through season 1, and now it's in season 2, and it's a lead-in for Modern Family now. I believe it's sort of in a block between the middle and Modern Family on what
on the face of it, it's nothing new, but I think it's got a real charm. And
I wasn't a big fan of the family dynamics at times. It was a little bit, you know, I felt like I was watching a live version of The Simpsons occasionally.
There's nothing wrong with that,
or just your family life.
So, you know, with the dad being very Homer-like.
Well, is I think the sister character sort of underwritten, because if you watch the sort of the end of the first episode, he doesn't have
a real sister,
he has another brother, doesn't he? He has like an older brother, but I think, you know, in developing it, I think someone along the way said, you know, it's too samey having 3 brothers, you need like a sister. I mean, I like the story in the second episode with, like, you know, the sister and the dad. I'll definitely sort of keep watching it, because I think...
And I wondered why E4 was playing it sort of at night, stripped, for lack of a better word.
But it works.
But I think it works, because I don't know if after that first one I'd have necessarily sought it out for the following week. Also, interesting fact, when I was reading up on the cast, the sister, who he doesn't have a sister in real life, as we said, but the sister was in a girl group on the first series of the American X Factor, who got through to the live shows. Well, you know, some of us are committed to this.
And the guy who, for a sitcom about a Jewish family, the older brother is played by a guy called Troy Gentile. So there you go.